Hello, everybody. I'm going to report a little bit on the ransom notes again in reference to the Nancy Guthrie case. This is called The Language of the Notes. For 5 months, 2 ransom notes connected to Nancy Guthrie's disappearance have remained out of the public view. They have never been published, never released by the investigators, and never shown to the public. But newsroom staff who have read them and are now quietly leaking fragments of their wording, and for the first time, the language of these notes is being given to the surface very slowly, very casually, and in piece-by-piece bits. The contrast, the 2 notes, is striking. The first one reads like someone pulled off a low-budget crime movie, blunt, threatening, and almost theatrical. The second, however, is unexpectedly polished. It carries a tone that is almost eloquent, with phrasing that feels deliberate and strangely reflective. The difference between the 2 is so sharp that it raises an unavoidable question. How do you reconcile such a drastically different voice in communications that supposedly came from the same sender? During her disappearance on Banfield last week, Brianna Whitney recited, to the best of her recollection, a line from the second note. She remembered it as, "We never intended to hurt her. That was not our intention." The sentence is odd for several reasons. It's unnecessarily wordy, almost repetitive, and it contradicts known facts. Nancy was bleeding when she was taken. The idea that her harm was accidental doesn't align with the physical evidence. This is what makes the second note so confounding. Its tone doesn't match the first. Its phrasing doesn't match the first. And its purpose doesn't match the sense. Why would the sender reach out again before the deadline? Why take such a massive risk only to give up their reward? Why send a second communication that appears apologetic, reflective, or possibly even some remorse? Nothing about the second note fits neatly into the logic of the crime. It doesn't function as a threat. It doesn't function as a demand. It doesn't function as a negotiation. If anything, it reads like an attempt to soften the narrative. But the idea is outrageous. You cannot orchestrate a kidnapping, inflict harm, and then expect an apology letter to explain it away. So what was the purpose of the second note? Was it an attempt to manipulate the family? Was it meant to discourage them from pursuing the cause? Was it an emotional tactic? A misdirection? A confession disguised as justification? I don't know what you guys think about any of the ransom notes, but I'd love to hear your comments on this. Thank you, everybody. I hope you all have a good evening, and as always, stay safe. This is PI 56, and I'm out for now.